y'all, this is Stacy with the Craft Room Diaries. I'm super excited to have you here in my craft room today. I'm here today to share with you an option for creating custom titles or word art, whatever you might want for your layout, using Cricut Design Space, the print then cut feature, along with Photoshop. I generally, while I don't really do traditional project life by the week or the month, I do really love doing pocket pages. It just seems to work really well. My scrapbooking has really transitioned over the past few years to more of a photo-based, story-based. I love doing some journaling along with it, you know, just to capture that moment of what actually took place in that photo, which I will do an additional video coming up to show how I implement that and how I do that. Okay, but for today, let's just go ahead and get started creating some word art. So I'm just getting started on this pocket layout from last fall when I went and sit in the deer stand with my husband. It was my first time ever doing this, and even though he's been having his deer lease for so many years, and I don't think he actually thought we were going to see anything at all, but lo and behold, as soon as we got situated in the deer stand, a veritable herd of deer came out. There was like 4 big bucks that came walking out into the plot. So, you know, he said that I must be a deer magnet. So I thought that would be a suitable title for this card right here, somewhere's on this card. So we're going to go ahead and create a print then cut title to layer on this card. So I'm going to be starting out with a new canvas, and I decided that I want the title to say meet the deer magnet, which would be me. So I'm going to go ahead and type in the first part of it, meet the, because I think I want to angle the second part a little bit. So we're going to go meet the, and the font that I'm using here, normally you can just play around with the fonts and stuff, but I'm using one called Butter Honey. It is one that I did from one of those free font download places and stuff. But I really like it because it's kind of cursive, and I'm going to actually go ahead and close up the spaces in the letter, just using letter space. Now, oftentimes when you use, especially like these free fonts and stuff like that, they don't actually weld together that great. So the easiest way to do that is to go ahead and ungroup the letters and then just adjust them manually as needed. So I'm going to line the T up with the rest of meet. And then I'm going to take all of these guys over here, and I'm going to move that, scoot that over a little bit to make it a little bit closer. So now I'm going to go on and I'm going to group these together just by shift and select on all of these letters. And I'm going to create a group with them. That way, in case I need to move them around a little bit, I can move them all at once. Now I'm going to go for, type in for deer magnet. And same thing, I'm going to close in those letter spaces. Maybe. Okay, here we go. I don't know if it was actually working. So I'm going to do this a little bit faster and just ungroup them and just manually adjust these as well. I like it when the letters are not all in a straight line too. So I think it just makes it a little bit interesting, especially with these messy looking cursives like this. I think it's fun if they're not just, they almost kind of look more like somebody hand wrote them like this. But we're going to go ahead and connect all of these. And you don't have to connect them all, okay? Because we're not going to be welding this. Because of the size, the space that I have on the card that I'm going to be putting this on, it doesn't have a whole lot of space. These individual words would probably be right about an inch or so tall. And I don't know about you, but I don't always like cutting letters of that size and trying to glue that down to anything at all. I just find it's kind of tedious to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of these. You know what? I think I actually want to do this a little bit differently. I think I want magnet to go underneath the word deer so that I can kind of angle it in the space. Did I catch them all? Nope, left one out. Oh well, I'll fix them. I can angle it in the space of the card next to the picture. That way it kind of gives it a little more dimension. So let me pop my E in right there. And I'm going to actually try to pick these up. Well, let's go back and do it this way. So hold down shift and you can just select each individual letter. And I'm going to group these as well so that I can move them into position. It looks like I left off another letter. Again, yep, I'll have to go back and grab him, the E as well. So I know that my card is roughly 6 inches wide. So this is going to be a little bit large. So I'll be able to go back and scale this down. I'm going to group him with the rest of these guys, I hope. Yep, let's group him so that he says. Okay, so now what I want to do, I'm gonna make the meet the a little bit smaller. Because again, the card is only 6 inches wide. I want this to go across the card that I'm working on. So this ends up being right about 6 inches here. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger than the meet the. Maybe I'll make meet the a little bit smaller. Yeah, let's do that. And then I'll leave this size. And I may even angle it a little bit just for fun. All right. Okay, so now that I've got this done, I'm going to select all of these and I'm going to group them together. That way, if I need to adjust it at all, I can adjust them all at the same time. So I've done select all. I'm going to group them. Okay, so now we're going to make a background mat, because if you just tried to print then cut this, it would strictly cut out the individual letters, and that's not what I want. I basically want almost like a little die cut of this title. So now that I have that, and I showed how to do this in a previous video, but so I'll go through it kind of quickly on this one. But I'm going to choose the square shape, and I am going to make that quite a bit bigger than the title that I'm working with. I'm now going to make it white so that we've got some contrast with the title, and I'm going to send this to the back. Okay, so now I've got this nice white mat behind the title. I'm going to click off of the object so that this little plus sign, this little position marker goes away, and I'm going to take a screenshot of the image, just the image, not the entire screen. So I'm going to take a screenshot of the image. I am now going to open up Photoshop, and I'm going to open that image because on my computer it saves directly to my desktop, so I can just grab it. It'll be the last thing on my desktop. I'm going to open it. Okay, so once I have this opened, I am going to, I don't know why I have the move tool on, but now that I have this open, I am going to select color range, which you can see in this little box right here. And I'll go through quickly how color range is set. Right now I have it set on selection. Okay, the fuzziness is at 115. If it's too low, it's not going to work like this. And this little eyedropper, which I have no idea what it means, is selected. So now we're going to choose OK. So all of the letters are selected. We're now going to do copy, which I use Command C. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to open a new layer using this plus box, or you can do it from the layer, from the bar at the top, choose layer, and then create a new layer. But I'm going to create a new layer, and then I'm going to paste what I just copied into that new layer. Okay, so now I have got that. And I don't know why that box with the boxes is there, but I'm not a Photoshop expert, by the way. Okay, so now I'm going to click on this layer. I'm going to double click on it, and the layer style box appears. I am going to choose from this column, I'm going to choose stroke. Mine is set. If I click it again, it'll give me my settings. Mine is set right now at 38. Okay, which I may just lower it a little bit so that the background border is not quite as big. So I'm going to lower that down to maybe 28. I think that'll be a good size. And I think, yeah, everything's still connected. As you can see, there will be a space, but everything's connected. So now I'm going to choose OK. And I am going to save this. I do all of my saves as, I just save it as a desktop on my desktop. That way I can grab it real quick to import that right back in. So I'm going to give this a title, Dear, just to be super quick. Make sure you save it, not in Photoshop, save it as a JPEG. And now we're going to go right back into Cricut Design Space. I'm going to eliminate this box because I no longer need this. And I'm going to upload the background layer that we just created. As you can see, I've played with it a little bit. We're going to go ahead and upload that background layer that we just created in Photoshop. I'm going to do it as a simple upload. And I'm going to eliminate, using this little select and erase tool is selected, I'm going to eliminate all of that background. Now, you can also eliminate the spaces right here in between the letters if you choose to. If you don't, that's fine too. I think it's just based upon what you like. So in this case, I did. I'm going to save it as a cut image. And then now I'm going to put that on my desktop. It's in black, so I'm going to switch it to white so that we have, because obviously black on black wouldn't do much anything now, would it? So I'm going to put that behind. I'm going to arrange that and put that behind. And once you've got that lined up, it usually does come out the exact size that you need. Once you've got that lined up, we're going to go ahead and I am going to select all. Again, I'm going to group it. Just in case I need to size it, I like to group it. And then I'm going to flatten it now so that I can print then cut the whole thing. So this is what I'll be printing and cutting, okay? And just to show you one more thing with this that I really like, that I find makes a huge difference. When I print and cut items like this, I like to use a photo paper, a matte photo paper. It doesn't really matter which brand. And when I print and cut them, I'll show you the difference between printing it on regular cardstock versus printing it on a matte photo paper. So this is how we're going to go ahead now and we're going to print this. All right, and here's our custom title. Perfect size, perfect shape for this card. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're a new visitor to my new channel, please consider subscribing, as I will be adding many more. I hope you visit again soon. Have a great day.